students. Today we are going to have a new passage. Its title is Smash and Grab. So as you know, or as usual, we are going to read the passage carefully to understand and comprehend what it is, and then try to answer the questions concerning the passage. Okay? So what I'm going to do is to read the passage carefully. Just lend me your ears and try to tackle every word. Okay? We have many new words, a lot of new words in this passage. We are going to use the dictionary as well. Okay? Smash and grab. The expensive shops in a famous arcade near Piccadilly were just opening. At this time of the morning, the arcade was almost empty. Mr. Taylor, the owner of a jewelry shop, was admiring a new window display. Two of his assistants had been working busily since 8 o'clock and had only just finished. Diamond necklaces and rings had been beautifully arranged on a background of black velvet. After gazing at the display for several minutes, Mr. Taylor went back into his shop. The silence was suddenly broken when a large car with its headlights on and its horn blaring rode down the arcade. It came to a stop outside the jeweler's. One man stayed at the wheel, while two others, with black stockings over their faces, jumped out and smashed the window of the shop with iron bars. While this was going on, Mr. Taylor was upstairs. He and his staff began throwing furniture out of the window. Chairs and tables went flying into the arcade. One of the thieves was struck by a heavy statue, but he was too busy helping himself to diamonds to notice any pain. The raid was all over in 3 minutes, for the man scrambled back into the car and moved off at a fantastic speed. Just as it was leaving, Mr. Taylor rushed out and ran after it, throwing ashtrays and vases. But it was impossible to stop the thieves. They had got away with thousands of pounds worth of diamonds. Now, before I'm going to ask you, some of your colleagues to read the passage again, I'm going to give you a brief about the story of the passage. So the passage is about a jewelry shop in a famous arcade near a famous square, which is Piccadilly. Piccadilly is a famous square in London, okay, UK. Now, the owner of the jewelry shop is so fond of his window display, okay? You know the window display. This is a special place for in jewelry shops, just like the ones we have in Souq al-Kabir, the grand market of Najf. Okay? You know, jewelry shops, they take good care of the window display by cleaning those windows, window displays carefully so as to attract the customers. Okay? Now, Mr. Taylor, the owner of the shop, was so fond of his window display. He was gazing at his window display, okay, to make sure that it is clean and will attract the customers also. So at that time of the morning, the arcade was almost empty. You know, at 8 o'clock, jewelry shops do not often open at 8 o'clock, okay? The thief, a speeding car roared down the street, the arcade, and stopped outside the jewelry shop. Two men stepped outside the car, and the third stayed behind the wheel, okay, or behind the steering, waiting for the other two. Those two went to the jewelry shop and started smashing the window display with iron bars. Okay? The owner, Mr. Taylor, was so shocked and he did not know what to do. So he was upstairs watching and observing what was going on at that moment, and he decided to resist. So he and his assistants start throwing pieces of furniture, you know, chairs and ashtrays and statues and whatever, you know. So in a desperate, you know, attempt to try to stop the thieves from robbing and stealing the diamonds, okay, and the jewels, you know, with no avail. His attempts went in vain, okay. So one of the pieces of furniture hit one of the thieves. You know, one of the thieves was, you know, hit by a heavy statue. But, you know, he was busy in collecting diamonds and gold and stuff like that, and jewelry. Why? He did not notice that he was hit by a heavy statue. Okay? His job was to take all the jewelry and go back to the car. And so they did. And so he did. He and his colleague. So they went back took all the diamonds and the pieces of jewelry went back to the car, and the car went off. And Mr. Taylor desperately tried to stop them, so he ran after the car, throwing ashtrays and stuff like that. That was a desperate attempt, actually, because it wasn't enough to stop a speeding car from going off. So they got away with that, with a lot of money, with a lot of with thousands and thousands, maybe millions of pounds worth of diamonds and jewelry. Okay, so that was the story. This is the story, you know. And so I'm going to, in order to make sure that you will fully understand the story and the passage, I will ask some of you to read. Okay, to read the passage. So I'll start with Hussein. Hussein, make yourself audible. Okay?
Smash and grab.
Good.
The expensive shop in a famous arcade near Piccadilly were just opening at time of the morning. The arcade was almost empty. Mr. Toiler, the wing of the jewelry, the jewelry shop, was admiring a new window display. Two of his assistants had been working busily since 8 o'clock and had only just finished. Nicholas and Rain had been beautifully arranged on a background of black velvet. After gazing at the display for several minutes, Mr. Turner went back into his shop. The silence was suddenly broken when a large car with its headlights on and its horn blaring roared down the arcade. It came to a stop outside the jewelers. One man stayed at the wheel. Two others will look like stalking over their faces. Jump out and smash the window. Smash the window.
Good.
Of the shop with iron parts. While this was going on, Mr. Thor was upstairs. He and his staff began throwing furniture out of the window. Chairs and tables went flying into the arcade. one of the thieves was struck by heavy statue.
By a heavy statue, yes.
But he's not.
Statue.
But
Yeah.
he's not. But he was too busy helping himself to diamonds.
To notice any pain.
Any pain. To notice any pain.
The raid.
The raid was all over in 3 minutes.
Good.
For the man scrambled back into the car and moved off at fantastic speed, just as it was leaving. Mr. Taylor rushed out and ran after it, throwing ashtrays and vases. But it was impossible to stop the thieves. They had got away.
Yes.
With
thousands of pounds worth of diamonds. Thank you, Hussein. Good reading. But I want to tell you that it's not easy to read. Reading is a skill. Therefore, we need more training and more reading. Okay, so as to get it right. Okay, I need your reading to be much more alive. Okay, watch out for your intonation. Okay, when you end the sentence, you should stop for a moment and then start with a high tone. Okay, as I told you before, and this is not reading is not an easy task and not an easy skill. Okay. Okay, but through time, we will get better and better. Okay. Thank you, Hussein. What else? Your name, Miss? Benin. Yes, Miss Benin, please.
Smash and crack. The expensive shop in a famous arcade near Delhi were just opened at this time of the morning.
Miss Benin, excuse me. The expensive shops in a famous arcade near Piccadilly were just opening. At this time of the morning, the arcade was almost empty. Now, it's your tone, okay? Yes. So as the reader will notice when a sentence ends and a new sentence starts, okay? Or an utterance ends and a new utterance starts, okay? So since we are reading a passage, a text, we should, we should notice such things, okay? We should take care of such things. Yes, please, go ahead.
Mr. Taylor, the owner of a jewelry shop, was admiring a new window. Display.
Not display. Display. I don't know why you insert such a vowel, but I have a justification for that. This is because, the first language interference. Our mother tongue, the Arabic or the Arabic language, interferes with the task of learning a second language. We don't have a vowel between those two segments. Okay, display. Okay. Because in Arabic, we don't have 3 consonant cluster, okay? So we try to insert a vowel to make it easier to pronounce such words, okay? That's why we say spring, okay? Spray. If you go to the dictionary and just take a look at the phonemic transcription of the word, you will not find a vowel here, spring, no. Spring, street, okay? So it's not display.
Two of his assistants had been working.
2 of his assistants
Has been working busily since 8 o'clock and had only just finished.
Good.
The
No. Diamond necklaces. You know what's a necklace? Okay? Especially ladies. Necklaces, bracelets, okay? Earrings, stuff like that. Rings, you know? You are so fond of jewelry. Okay? So, necklaces. Diamond necklaces.
Had been into bullet. Arranged.
No, arranged.
Arranged.
Benin, take it easy. You don't have to be confused. Take it easy, take a breath, and read. We are trying to learn here. Okay? You're here to learn how to read properly. So it's not a matter of, don't be just confused. Just take it easy and read slowly. Okay? Slowly. We're here to help you and to help others. Okay? It's my job to make your reading much more or better. Okay? Go ahead. Continue.
On a background of black velvet. After gazing at the display for several months, Mr. Taylor went back into his shop. The cylinder was suddenly broken when a large car, with its headlights on and its horn blaring, rather down the arcade. It came to a shop outside the jewelries. One man stayed at the one wire, two others, with black stocking.
Can you repeat that, please? Can you repeat that?
Okay.
One man stayed at the wheel.
Yes.
Now, staying at the wheel here means staying behind the wheel. Staying behind the wheel, staying in the car, waiting for the others to finish up and come back quickly. Okay? Here, the wheel is what? The steering. I mean, we use that word or such word in our local or Arabic, okay, slang. In our slang, we use that. We say the steering, okay, but we refer differently to using the word wheel. Here, the wheel at the wheel means behind the steering, behind the wheel, okay, in the car.
One of two others with black
Stockings. You know, stockings is a piece of clothes used to cover faces, okay, so as no one will identify who the thieves are, okay?
Like socks?
Not like socks, no. Socks are used to, we use it differently, but stockings is a piece of clothes that covers the face, okay? You know, there are different types of stockings, but the main purpose of using a stocking is so as not to let anyone to know you, to identify your real identity, okay? Your real, who you are, okay? So thieves use, even in the military, they use stockings, and special forces and stuff like that. Such forces used to use stockings. It's regular to find them wearing stockings and stuff like that, so as not to let the enemy or any other or others to identify who they are. Okay, so stockings. We need to identify words in English. You know, we know that in Arabic, knowing the meaning, okay, of a certain word in Arabic or its equivalent in Arabic, it's not the right way to learn English. We need to find out its meaning in English. نريد نعرف معنى الكلمة بالإنجليزي، نعرفها بالإنجليزي ونعرف استخداماتها بالإنجليزي. Okay, that's why I always ask you to bring a dictionary and use a dictionary here and even at home. Okay. Yes, please, Ms. Benny. Go ahead.
About their faces jumped out and
Not jumped, Benny, jumped.
Jumped,
yes.
Out and smashed the window.
Not smashed, Benny, smashed, yes.
Smashed the window of the shop with iron bars. While this was going on, Mr. Taylor was upset.
Actually, it's Mr. Taylor and not Mr. Tyler, okay?
Was the upstairs.
Upstairs.
He and his staff began.
Staff. Now, staff is used differently here. Now, a staff refers to a group of people working in the same place, okay? Doing the same job, okay? Or serving certain, purpose, okay? But it is used differently. We cannot say to the group of people who, for example, working on an airplane as staff. No, we call them crew. They are referred to we call them crew. Crew, crew and staff, they share the general meaning. Both of them refer to a group of people, special group of people working in one place, okay? But crew is a technical term used for those who work on an airplane, okay? On a ship, okay? Crew and not staff. Yes, go ahead, Benny.
From Fortuna, out was struck by out of the window. Charles and the travelers went flying into the arcade. One of the thieves was struck by a heavy statue.
Heavy
Heavy
statue.
But he was too busy carving himself to diamonds.
Yes, the thief did not notice, actually, that he was hit by a heavy statue. He was so busy in collecting diamonds and jewels and stuff like that, okay? So he was just focusing on one thing, how to get as much diamonds as possible and as fast as possible also. Yes, can you?
To notice.
Mm-hmm.
The raid was all over.
The raid.
Yes. Mm-hmm. The raid was all over in 3 months. For the men scrambled.
3 minutes. For the men scrambled.
Back into the car and it moved of a fantastic speed.
Mm-hmm.
Just as it was leaving, Taylor rushed out and ran over.
Mr. Taylor rushed. Yes.
Out
It's okay. It's okay to mispronounce a word. It's our job to correct things for you, okay? To correct your way of pronouncing words, okay? But the thing is once you are corrected for mispronouncing a word, you should take that into consideration so as not to mispronounce the word improperly again, okay? You have to learn. This is learning. When you know that you did a mistake or mispronunciation, you mispronounce a word, you should not do it again. You should not get through such an experience again, okay? Just get over that and get the right pronunciation. That's why I need you to use the dictionary, okay? Why? So as to read the phonemic transcription of the word, and even gives you some the place or where the stress or which segment of the word carries the stress. You know the stress, okay? If you want to stress, if you want to find out which syllable of the word carries the stress, you should just pronounce it properly. The most prominent part is the one that is the stress syllable. Yes, please. Thank you, Ms. Benin. Thank you very much for reading. Now, Mr. Mohammed Hussein. Yes, please. Now, Mr. Mohammed Hussein, you will read the first paragraph, and Ms. Sajja will read the second paragraph, okay? Okay? Yes, please, go ahead.
Smash and grab. The expensive shops in a famous arcade near Piccadilly were just opening.
Good.
At this time of the morning, the arcade was almost empty.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Taylor, the owner of a jewelry shop, was admiring a new window display.
Mm-hmm.
Two of his assistants had been working busily.
Busily. busy is an adjective here. But you know things about suffixes and prefixes. You know, prefixes, those, you know, they come before words, and suffixes, they come after words. They're actually attached to words. The thing is that the main difference is that suffixes, we have two types of suffixes: inflectional and derivational. We call them inflectional morphemes and derivational morphemes. I think you're going to tackle such a topic in grammar, okay? But since we came through that point, I need to pass that piece of information to you guys. Inflectional morphemes do not change the part of speech of the word, okay, or the lexical item. They only do some grammatical function, like, for example, the tense. They reflect the tense of the sentence, and okay, like the s, the ed, third person, the ing. But derivational morphemes, they are the ones that are attached also to words. They change the part of the words. How? For example, busy is an adjective. Once we add the suffix ly to it, it will not be an adjective. It will be an adverb. Therefore, the part of speech of the word changed from being an adjective to an adverb. Okay? Beautiful. Beautifully. Okay? Okay. Thank you. Yes, Muhammad, please continue.
And had only just finished. Diamond necklace and rings had been beautifully arranged on a background of black velvet.
So beautifully also an adverb of manner. Okay? Beautifully arranged. Okay?
After gazing and
no, gazing. Now we need, sorry Muhammad, we need to focus on the difference between gaze and stare, gazing and staring, so as to know the difference between them. And who will tell us the difference between them? Not me. We will consult the Oxford Dictionary. And this is why we need to use the dictionaries, okay? So the dictionary would tell us the difference between, in use, in terms of use. Okay? Thank you, Mom. Continue. Sorry for interrupting us.
After gazing at the display for several minutes, Mr. Taylor went back into his shop. The silence was suddenly broken when a large car with its headlights on.
When its headlights on. You should not stop. Okay? You should finish up. Okay? There are places, when you read, there are places that you should not stop reading in such places. You should continue, okay? Even in the Quran, when you read the Holy Quran, okay, there are places that it's forbidden stopping or stop reading is forbidden, okay? You should just finish up the whole verse. You should not stop reading, okay? There are other places, no, it is recommended to stop. Others, it's a must to stop reading. Okay? So this is also a written text, and we need to, in some places, we need to finish up this part of information, okay? So as the idea to be, complete, to get the whole idea, you should not separate between words. Okay.
Rolled down the arcade, it came to a stop outside the jeweler's. One man sat at the wheel, while two others with black stockings over their faces jumped out and smashed the window of the shop with iron bars.
Good. Continue. Okay, Sajjad, do you want to yes, please, Sajjad. Sajjad will help you in that.
While that was going
But just make yourself audible, please. Raise your voice, please.
While this was done and one instructor was upstairs, he and his staff began from pointing out of the window chairs and tables.
No, chairs. Chairs and tables. And, I mean, those two items are part of a more general term, okay, which is, furniture. Okay? Yes.
One of the thieves was caught by heavy stuff, but he was too busy.
No, he was too busy.
Helping
Mhm.
himself
To diamonds.
to
To notice any pain. Yes.
the rain was over in 3 minutes
Good.
for the man
Scrambled back into the car. Fantastic speed.
Just as it was leaving, Mr. Floyd rushed out and ran after and found Floyd and said
Good.
that it was
Impossible.
impossible to stop the thieves. They had got away with tons of coins worth of tons.
Thank you, Sajjad. Thank you, Mohammed Hussein. And thank you also, Hussein and Benin, for reading it. Now, we move to the to answer the questions concerning the passage, okay? So you know the deal, guys. We have to answer the questions in note form. Then we will rewrite those and use those notes to write a passage about the passage, okay? A piece of composition concerning the passage.